Hello and welcome to this webinar. This webinar is based upon a research paper that we have written on the cloud contact center and market opportunities for service providers. Cavell over the last year has seen that enterprises are demanding contact center like services and contact center features in their enterprise, and also we're seeing service providers start to offer these. Their demand for us to write this paper has been pretty strong, as we've seen a lot of service providers wanting to take on cloud contact center solutions. So we've written the white paper to enable and help service providers understand how they can offer these kind of services. So the first point that we touch upon on our white paper is really the value of customer interaction. So we're seeing enterprises really start to value customer interactions and understanding that if they interact better with their customers, the customers do get a lot of benefit out of this. And the enterprises also get a lot of benefit out of this because they want to understand how their customers interact with them, and they want to have the tools that enable them to do so and track those interactions as well. Enterprises are also starting to compete with a lot of different people and finding it difficult to differentiate themselves. So being able to engage with customers in a different way is a key differentiator for this. And as customers' expectations change in this always-on world, customers are also demanding new ways to interact with their enterprises, such as through social media. Service providers are also needing ways, having to find motivation, or finding motivations for offering contact center solutions. One key thing is offering, differentiating from the competition, and contact center services and contact center like features can be a key differentiator. I mean, in the UK market, there's over 96 service providers and multiple resellers, so the ability to offer new features is key. What we've also seen with offering cloud contact center is that the solution can be very sticky, so customers can stay with them for a long time as they really understand the service. We've also seen that cloud contact center can be a really strong pull-through for sales in different areas. We've seen service providers start to offer contact center to really move up the stack, to start offering from SME into mid-market, and being able to offer contact center services has also been a pull-through for offering other cloud services like UC seats or other IT services on the back of that. Service providers are also really interested in the increased ARPU that you can get from selling contact center. We've seen up to 10 times ARPU compared to a UC seat, so it can be commercially very lucrative if it's sold correctly. And on the other side as well, being able to offer contact center services has been boosting valuations in a number of service providers, and we've seen in the last few years, Magnetic North and MTEL have sold with strong valuations, really to do with their contact center expertise. And on the vendor side as well, we've seen acquisitions from 8x8, Broadsoft, and others investing in contact center solutions so that they can boost their offer those to their service providers as well, and also boost their valuation. When Cisco announced their acquisition of Broadsoft, one of the key things that they highlighted was their contact center capabilities. Cavell's recent report on the UC market examined what services service providers were being demanded by customers. And one of the key things that came up here was contact center features and analytics. And we'll go into a little bit further on, but what we're seeing is that customers are really demanding contact center like features from service providers. Now, service providers don't need to offer full contact center like solutions, but can also offer point solutions to offer contact center like features to end customers. Service providers who predominantly focus on selling cloud PBX and UCaaS services can look into expanding their portfolio with decoupled contact center like offerings. And this will really allow the service providers to help enterprises improve customer interaction between their end customers starting day one. And whether they want to then go to a full contact center like service in the future could be another step. But so as we explored earlier, enterprises really want to have these kind of features. So being able to offer a bespoke package of reporting and analytics to the enterprise without full contact center service can be very valuable. And the same with recording, same with customer routing and workflow optimization. In the report, we go into this a lot further and really delve into why these services are being sold. So looking at what other features can really differentiate you in your service when you're offering contact center. As we said, analytics reporting, recording and monitoring are becoming ever important, and being offered quite often on a single use basis, and not as a full package. We're also seeing CRM integrations, and that's across the whole board in UC, not just in contact center. And we're seeing that being able to offer CRM integration can create a much more stickier solution as you're really integrating into that customer's workflow. We've recently just done a research paper on vertical markets and looking at what service providers have been successful in those, and what are some of the key industry verticals that you can go after and applications in there. And it's really interesting to see who's been successful in these different markets. Omnichannel is becoming ever important as well. As we mentioned earlier, the rise of social media and customers want to interact with their enterprises in different ways means that it's no longer just a voice channel when you're calling into a call center, but people want to IM, people want to use social media, and people want to use other key messaging to get into speaking to the end customer. Speaking to the enterprise. So being able to offer an omni-channel solution is very important. Dynamic routing as well. So being able to get contextual information, that could be using chatbots or AI before, to make sure that, so when the contact center agent picks up a call or picks up a message or an interaction from a customer, they really know what that customer is talking about. And this is really delving now into the AI space and automation. So being able to chat to a bot before you actually speak to a human, so that they understand the issue, understand why you're wanting to interact. So the agent has the full context of that conversation, and that can be really important, and save a lot of man hours on the enterprise side, but make sure that the customer knows or doesn't have to repeat themselves multiple times as the information's already been held. So we split the contact center market into 3 different types of service, and these can be from the very basic, where you're looking at sort of inbound calling, basic routing, and kind of limited integrations, up to the core solution where you're offering more developed services that you really expect on a normal contact center seat. As we go into the future, we're really seeing the advanced features such as omni-channel, workflow optimization, predictive analytics, AI, and automation come into these contact centers as well. As you can see, some of the vendors below are offering across multiple sites here. So some are offering basic solutions, some are offering core as well, and then some are offering the advanced services as well. Sometimes there are just points, but we have done some segmentation into the market just to show where these are. So when launching a contact center service, there's a few considerations that you really need to take into account. You've got to really work out what kind of type of service to offer. Are you just going to offer some point solutions to begin with into your enterprise, or are you going to go for a full-blown contact center solution? Your go-to-market strategy is also very key. You may need a new sales team, and you need to work out we've got the right collateral and messaging in this. It's a very different service and maybe very different for what your sales teams are used to selling already. So you need to work out whether you need to invest heavily in your team as well as just the product. The channel commercial models are also very important. So looking at what your channel strategy is going to be, what pricing model you're going to go down, and that depends on really what type of service you're getting and what vendors you're working with. As we've seen that the cost difference for licenses can be very different and vary greatly across different models. Branding marketing also plays a strong role in this. We've seen some providers not offer white labeled solutions, but only resell solutions. So you have to make a clear decision when you're going down at what you want to do in terms of your own branding and marketing, whether you're happy using someone else's branding and marketing to go to market, or whether you'd like to white label it yourself. So becoming quite important there. And at the end, customer segmentation is also key. So you need to understand where you're going to be targeting this, and that also will play into what type of service you want to offer. So really looking at, are you going to be offering just into the SME or large enterprise, or are you looking at targeting the mid-market? Are you using contact center to be able to push into a new area and then pull through your UC seats and sales, and those areas as well needs to be examined as well. And that will require some quite deep thought from your product teams looking into that. And then last is where the control of the server is going to be. So what's the hosting environment look like? We've seen contact centers being hosted by the vendor themselves, and then when the demand gets high, those contact centers have fallen over because the vendor hasn't put the right infrastructure in behind that. And we've seen one key case in America where the whole contact center crashed at a very busy time for them, and just busy tones on all of the phones. So it's important to do the technical due diligence as well of where the controller is going to be and where that hosting environment is going to be. So what's our report look like? It's £1,000 plus VAT, and we look at those different types of service types. We look at why you should be considering a cloud contact center solution and what the motivation should be for end customers. We also delve into deep dive into sort of some of the key features to consider. What are the features and how are they usually offered? And then we look at the end of what the options are. So going through what vendors, how to brand, what branding you can do, what commercial models, where is it's going to be hosted. We then also look at some key service providers who have who are selling contact center and showing some go-to-market examples for you to understand how you could do that. And then in the end, we conclude with some key factors to evaluate and talking through that. As always, we'd be very happy to help you with any of these if you want to do a deeper dive into this. We obviously do a lot of consulting projects for a number of service providers globally around these kind of services, be it go-to-market. But if you'd like an insight into what we're doing, please buy the report or give me a call and we can discuss through. Thank you very much, and look forward to speaking to you soon. Thanks.